Welcome back into the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Napoles and Christian Esparza, thank you for making us a part of your Saturday morning. We're here live at the ballpark at America First Square, and we are very excited to welcome in our next guest. It is Doug Davis from the Salt Lake Bees. Doug, how's it going, man? Thanks for taking the time to join us.
Oh, my pleasure. I appreciate you guys having me on. Everything's good.
Absolutely good. That's great to hear. How's the season going for you guys so far?
It's been a good season for us. I mean, we're very excited about. I think where we're at right now. AAA baseball is a funny thing. It changes day to day. You're kind of relying upon what the major league team's doing, and when there's change up there, there's change here. But we've kind of kept a nice core group of guys around. We've been able to send a bunch of guys to the big leagues, and they've been contributors for the Angels. And that's kind of what the priority is here.
Absolutely.
And that's what we want.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think as a AAA manager, success for you isn't just about winning games. It's also about making sure these guys develop and making sure they're ready for the majors when that opportunity comes. And so, how have you seen the development from some of these guys that you get to work with every day?
Well, I think the development process here has gone terrific. I mean, from our coaching staff, the guys that have been here before in previous years, this being my first year, I was kind of easing into it. I wanted to make sure everybody who was here before kind of did what they were used to, and then, I would add whatever I could to help the process a little bit. But again, when you see our players, our young players, our Angel players go to the big leagues, like Guzman and Natera and guys that go up there for the first time and they jump right in, and like I said, they just contribute. I think that's huge for the organization, and it certainly makes us feel good about what we're doing here, and we know that's the plan, we know that's the process, and our daily preparation is just kind of focused on that and trying to make sure that these guys know when whatever they're doing here, when they go to the big leagues, it doesn't change. It's just an easy transition. They just go up there. It's just a different place, different uniform.
You mentioned, this being your first season here with the Bees. You come over from the Round Rock Express. What are your first impressions of Salt Lake City? What's it been like for you getting acclimated here and with this franchise and organization?
Well, being with Round Rock and coming in here the last 3 years as a visiting team and as a staff member on a visiting team, the one thing about me and about a lot of the coaches that we had in Round Rock is that we were very willing and to go do things, no matter where we were. So, I've fly fished the Provo River. I've taken hikes on a lot of different trails, in the mountains. So I've tried to do a lot of things around here, and then coming here and being able to be here, on a more regular basis, it's just it's been even that much more exciting and fulfilling for me to just see what Salt Lake City's all about, but just to enjoy the things that the city offers us.
We've been lucky enough to talk to some of the people within the organization. We talked to Jenny Teamsma earlier, Karina Nelson, VP of Baseball Operations, and Peter Callahan, who has a hand in the youth programs, and they've all talked about the culture in the clubhouse and how positive it is, not only for the players but also for the community and also for the families and the kids that you see here today. And what kind of culture are you building in that clubhouse this season for you and your guys?
Well, this is year 43 for me in professional baseball. So I actually signed and was drafted by the California Angels at the time. So I've kind of felt like I was an Angel when I came here. I've actually tried to get back here at different times in my career, and it finally worked out. But I think culture's huge, for us. Baseball is a very difficult game to play well, and the skill that's required, so I think you have to go into this looking to just try and enjoy yourself, have fun, prepare, do all that. But when you go out there to compete, just enjoy it. Enjoy the ride, because you never know how long it's going to last. So we try to make the clubhouse, very fun for the guys to be a part of, and they are. They enjoy themselves in there. The music's playing, they're playing ping pong, they're doing other things to just try to sometimes keep your mind off the game a little bit. And then, like I said, once you prepare, it's about going out there and enjoying the opportunity to be able to be a professional baseball player and showcase your skills.
You had some time off this week because of the All-Star break a little bit. Got back into the swing of things. A win over Reno last night coming into town. How do you see things playing out, I guess, over the rest of this series and then the I guess, second leg of the season for your squad?
Well, I think it's a unique time of the year. You get to the All-Star break, and I think it's just, being able to step back for a few days. Most of the guys go home, wherever that may be, and just, rest for a few days just to kind of recharge the batteries. And then you kind of work toward the trade deadline, which impacts AAA, usually. You don't know what, that may look like because I think at the major league level, all those people, the front offices, they're trying to prepare and do whatever they can to positively impact their teams. Sometimes buying, sometimes selling, whatever that looks like. So in some ways it's going to impact this team. So that's part of it. And then once we get past that trade deadline, then you're basically less than 2 months away from the end of the season. So I think our focus right now has turned a little bit more toward winning, to be honest with you. Because, again, like I said, preparation is kind of the focus most of the year in sending guys to the big leagues. But once we get to that trade deadline and they've made all of those changes, there's not a lot of change that happens after that. So, my thought process is, well, let's do everything we can to try to find ways to win baseball games and see where that puts us at the end of the season.
Love to hear it.
Utah sports has an incredibly passionate fan base. And what is it like for you to come out here at the new ballpark, no less, come out here and see the families come in night in and night out, support you guys, and how are you guys receptive to the fan base that you guys have built here in Daybreak?
Well, when I got here, or even before that, when I talked to Karina and some of the other people in the front office, and I think last year being the first year of a brand new stadium, you never know how year number 2 is going to go.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, Karina, it's going to be better than last year, I promise you. and I think it has. Once we got to really into May and the weather turned, that's somewhat a part of it, I think. Yes. Early in the year, when you're getting snow, and
those April snowstorms.
Yeah, I only live a mile away, and I walk here a lot and really enjoy the walk. But sometimes I was walking into a 30-mile-an-hour wind and snowflakes. So once we got past that, the fan base has been tremendous, and I was really shocked. You go into Tuesday games, and sometimes that first game of the week, you never know who's going to show up. But we've had tremendous crowds all week, probably for the last month and a half, at least 2 months. So, really excited about that. I know the Bees are very excited, and they've kept it right up. And I think we play a very exciting brand of baseball, and I think that lends to people being excited about the team as well. So, like for me, it's just gone extremely well. I think it's gone very well for the Bees, and hopefully we can continue to put a good product out there on the field and make it very exciting for our fan base.
So speaking of that, we are here talking about some of these clinics that the Bees have going on. And speaking of the community and getting involved with the community, how important is that for your team to be involved with the kids here in Daybreak and in this general, Salt Lake area?
Well, I think for all sports industries, it's extremely important to, have that outreach and be able to get kids to come to these events, clinics, no matter what sports industry it is, and certainly for baseball. When I walked in here and I saw, all of the kids on the field, and I don't know how many's out there, but hundreds. That I think that makes me feel good. I know it makes the players feel good. There are players out there that are trying to help and just give some of their time and any kind of instruction that they can. And I think for young kids, when they have the opportunity to see that sort of piques their interest, and as they grow up, maybe a passion takes over, and that's what we want. I think for all sports industries, we want kids to be passionate and to be able to pick something that they really enjoy. And if it's baseball, great. If it's soccer, great. If it's basketball, great. Whatever it may be, there's a lot of different things for them. So this is extremely important for me. It's a part of I think what we do from a professional standpoint, and we want to certainly give back as much as people have given to us.
Manager of the Salt Lake Bees, Doug Davis, here joining us on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Doug, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We really appreciate it, and it's always great catching up, and it's always fun to be out here at the ballpark. So thanks for jumping on.
It's my pleasure, and I really appreciate you guys asking me to be a part of this.
Oh yeah, we love it. This is awesome. 6:35 first pitch tonight, by the way. Game 2 against the Aces in this series. So good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Doug Davis, manager for the Salt Lake Bees, joining us here as we roll on live from the ballpark at America First Square. And excited to be out here watching all these kids and being able to talk to people involved in the organization as the community outreach and as the season rolls on. Thrilling win last night for the Salt Lake Bees. And then tonight, they're back at it. Get your tickets if you haven't.
Thanks again. Good talking to you. We mentioned the All-Star break earlier this week and how that impacts, obviously, the AAA affiliates and stuff. And I think it was really interesting hearing about the trade deadline. And, you think about the MLB trade deadline and what's going to go on in the big leagues. But, Doug was mentioning how that impacts organizations like the Bees and all of the affiliates and who's going to be buyers and sellers. And at the end of the day, you know what I like to hear, Alex? He said, I think that's going to make our focus more on winning baseball games.
Absolutely. And that's winning. I was having this conversation with Tim yesterday, and it's winning changes things. And winning, when you win, I feel like it's a lot easier to build a fun culture and build a culture that people want to come be a part of. And winning really solves a lot. And so if the Bees are out here winning in front of their home fans, I can't imagine this place not being packed with everybody wanting to come out here and enjoy some Salt Lake Bees baseball, man. We're having a great time out here, and it's fun to be a part of this.
It is country weekend for the Salt Lake Bees, by the way. Again, we mentioned 6:35 first pitch tonight. If you can't make it out, you can catch every Salt Lake Bees game on the Zone as well, obviously. Longtime partners there, but come out to the stadium, man. This is great. You and I were talking. Neither of us have been out here before. We were talking to Peter Callahan earlier. I've been to the Aviators ballpark in Summerlin, Nevada, Las Vegas Aviators. Very, very nice ballpark. Very new, very modern. You walk in here, and it's a step above. Throwing a little shade at the rivals over there.
Absolutely.
But it's Peter mentioned that the architects were the same people, so it's very similar to the stadium out there in Vegas. But the amenities here are major league, and
Absolutely.
that was a big draw when they were building this thing. They don't want it to feel like a minor league ballpark. They want you to walk in and feel like you are getting a major league experience out here in Daybreak. And we mentioned everything else going on here. In the Miller Square and what they want to do. And it really does feel like this ballpark is the main attraction.
It's the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Napoles and Christian Esparza, as we are anticipating a Bees player to join us in the next segment. Real quick, want to transition back. Christian, you mentioned it earlier. There's an interview that rookie sensation Darren Peterson did on NBA Today. Just gave a lot of really great information, and I'm curious to hear his full comment about the ball handling situation and how he's going to handle that. And so while we have a moment here, let's listen to Darren Peterson and hear what he had to say on NBA Today about the Summer League and about the Utah Jazz.
I love when we see top picks play not just a game or two at Summer League, but really stay in the lineup, and you have certainly been doing that. Can you tell us a little bit about that decision? What made you want to have such a long run in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I haven't played a game since March, so to be able to go out there and compete with these guys was something I wanted to do, and I had a ton of fun doing it.
Well, it looks like it, and you said in one of your post-game interviews that as well, that you're back having fun on the court. What exactly is your definition of that? What does that mean when you say you're back having fun?
I'm feeling healthy, and I'm feeling like I'm back to being 100%. So that makes it fun for me when I can go out there and give it my 100% every time.
It's fun for fans, too, I think, to watch. And we've also seen a massive spike in your assist numbers in Las Vegas compared to the year you spent at Kansas. Do you see yourself as the Utah Jazz's point guard of the future now?
I think more combo. Me and Keontae can both play on or off it, so either or.
Oh, it was about to be Coach Keontae, right? Keontae George was close to be coaching you at Summer League. That didn't quite happen, but he is spending a lot of time around this Summer League group. What have you all been talking about, learning from one another?
He's telling me it's a long season, so get these games in and get as much game reps as you can now because I'm going to be thrown into that fire when the season comes. So just try to prepare as much as possible now.
What are you most excited about teaming up with Keontae George?
Just learn as much as possible from him. He's done everything I wanted to do. He's been in the league 4 years now, going into 4 years. So just picking his brain and learn as much as possible.
When we talk about this Utah Jazz team, I do think there is I won't say expectation, but maybe a hope that this is the year that this group returns to playoff contention. Is that an open dialogue that you have with your new teammates?
For sure. That's definitely something we talk about a lot and definitely a goal of ours. And I'm going to try to do everything I can to help be a part of that.
And part of that is film study when you're doing everything you can. And I was watching an interview, I don't know if you saw this, that your coach Will Hardy did with our Tim McMahon. And he detailed that right after your summer league, you know exactly where I'm going with this, right after your summer league debut, you all sat down to watch some film, and he took a little detour in that film session. Can you just tell us the story? What happened?
Yeah, we watched some film on Ed Reed. It was just a player he said he wanted me to be like on defense. And I didn't know who he was. Actually, I'm a Bengals fan. So he showed me, and now I know exactly what he meant. Like, he's light on his feet. He's making a ton of plays on defense. So definitely was huge. Well,
and so you were watching highlights of yourself, and then all of a sudden, how many minutes of NFL highlights were you watching after that?
I think we went a good 10 minutes of football film.
You're like, all right, I get it. I mean, we're going over to the football, too. I'm going to be versatile here, and I'm understanding what you're saying. But he's not the only Hall of Famer that you are studying or maybe that you are looking up to in this. You've mentioned Kobe Bryant as someone who you consider, even in Summer League, when you're suiting up for all of these games, when you know that a fan has showed up to see you. How do you think of Kobe when you're doing something like that?
I think it's easy for some people to say, like, it's just summer league, like, just go out there and play. But my mindset was go out here, try to get better, and try to help my team win every game. Obviously, we went down some, but my goal every time was to go out there and get better. So that's something Kobe was. He wanted to get better every day. So I just follow stuff like that.
We're nearing the point where we're going to see the NBA schedule released here in the next couple of weeks. Is there a game or a team that you are going to have circled as soon as the schedule comes out?
Right now, all of them. I'm just looking forward to playing everybody. There's somebody on every team that I'm excited to play against. So I'm just looking forward to the season and super excited for it.
Last thing before I let you go. We were talking yesterday about you on the show, and I think one of the things we all appreciate already is how hard you play. And you've said even when there's 10 fouls that you get at Summer League, you're going to set the tone early. You're smiling big. Why? What's the mindset there?
Yeah, that was my mindset. They told us we get 10 fouls, so I shouldn't let anybody get any layups or any easy buckets. If I get 10, like I said, I'm going out with 9.
There you go. That is Darren Peterson again with NBA Today. Love how you can't talk to Darren Peterson without drawing the Kobe questions, and then I feel like that's going to stick with him now that he's put the Kobe Bryant stuff at the forefront.
I just hope he doesn't get annoying about it like Jason Tatum.
Yes, that's kind of where I'm going with it.
The tattoo thing is cool, and it's
great, yeah.
I don't have a problem with a player idolizing one of the greatest to ever play. There is absolutely no problem with that, but just don't make it your whole personality. Yeah. And I'm not saying that Darren is doing that. I'm just saying that Jason Tatum has, and that has really turned me off of him. You can idolize a player and want to be great and incorporate certain elements of their greatness into your own game without completely wanting to do exactly and copy that. You think of Jason Tatum, he texted Kobe Bryant's phone number after he had passed away. Like, that's corny. I'm sorry. That's weird.
It's a little weird.
What else did he do?
It's different too to it's different too to maybe be I don't know, sympathetic about the situation, but instead he says, "Don't worry, I've got it from here" in his text, which I thought was a little, which I thought was weird.
That's odd.
Yeah,
and then copying like that Kevin Garnett, anything is possible, but he didn't even do it right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just taking this time to bag on Jason Tatum.
I get it. As far as Darren Peterson goes, love, he presents himself so well. I think in interviews, you heard it there with that one. You've heard it with everything that he's done for the Utah Jazz so far, and I think everybody in Salt Lake is really, really pumped up man, to be able to have Darren Peterson in market and to be able to see how he grows into that potential franchise-changing player that I think everybody wants him to be.
I think the big takeaway from Darren Peterson's first couple months here in Salt Lake City, or as a member of the Jazz, is his relationship with Keontae George. And, you hear him asked about his role as the ball handler, point guard, is he going to be off ball? But you hear him bring up his mentor, Keontae George, already, which is crazy. I mean, we're talking about a player going into his 4th year in the NBA, but he's already this mentor level for another young player. And I think that speaks volumes to Keontae's growth as an NBA player, but also as a member of the Jazz and a true face of the organization. And I know that drafting Darren Peterson number 2 overall, you've got crazy high expectations and hopes for his career. But honestly, Alex, I think it's safe to say right now Keontae George is the face of the Jazz, the face of the team. You see him behind the scenes with all these things. He's an assistant coach during Summer League. He's in the war room for the draft. I think they are very high on Keontae. They love that he is bringing this young player under his wing, and they honestly can't wait to see what Keontae George and Darren Peterson can do together on the court. And I emphasize together on the court. They're both going to have roles, right?
Absolutely. We are live here from the ballpark at America First Square. We are anticipating a conversation coming up here with Yolmer Sánchez of the Salt Lake Bees. That's coming up on the other side here on the Saturday show. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome back into the Saturday show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Napoles and Christian Esparza taking you through your Saturday morning. We're here live at the ballpark at America First Square, and we are very excited to welcome in our next guest, infielder for the Salt Lake Bees, Yolmer Sánchez, joining us here. Yolmer, how's it going, man?
Everything's good. It's always a good time when you can spend time in the ballpark, especially with kids. So having fun today.
Absolutely. You've had a long professional career. What is this season so far for the Salt Lake Bees, here with the Salt Lake Bees, meant for you?
Yeah, I mean, every year for a player, but I'm going to give you my opinion, it's kind of the same. If you're in the big league and you're in AAA, you just try to have a good season and play good, improve that you can help the team in the big league level. So that's the goal of everybody. But when we're here, we just try to do our part and play for one another and win games,
You mentioned off-air, just had the All-Star break. Everybody takes like a week off. You spent some time back in Arizona where your home is, and then now you come back and ramp up and get ready for the second half of the season. We were just talking to the manager the last segment. He said, you guys might try and win some more games down the stretch. How does that sound to you, Yvette?
Yeah, I always talk to the guys in the clubhouse, that's the main goal, Of course, we're going to go to a big league, but if we're here, let's play a good baseball and win games, And I like to win. It doesn't matter what I play. If I play in the big league, AAA, low A, I like to win. There's nothing more fun than win every night. So, yeah, we just try to win a lot of games and make the playoff, That means a lot, especially for the young guys. They excited to make the playoff and go to Las Vegas and play the championship there. So we just try to play good ball game and win games.
What keeps you motivated, man? What keeps you going every day, week in, week out? What keeps you motivated and competing every day?
Man, I still love this game. I've been doing this. I started playing baseball when I was 3.5 years old. I'm 34. I'm kind of old for this sport. But I still love this game. I'm just excited to come back to the field and play the game, especially if I see my name in the lineup. But also my kids. I have 2 kids, 7 and 12 and 11. He's going to be 12. And my oldest son, he loves baseball. He loves baseball, and every time that I call him right before the game, he just, hey, Dad, do your thing. You're the best. And
that's awesome.
And I think he sees me as a role model because he loves baseball. And I think just try to be a good example for my kid and go after your dreams.
Speaking of kids, man, that's why we are out here today. Some of the kids' camps that the Salt Lake Bees have going on. As a player, what's it like, being down there on the field and you've got tens or hundreds of kids on a busy day and you're teaching them how to play the game, teaching them how to throw a baseball, teaching them to have fun and learn this sport. What's that like to be involved with this community?
Yeah, I mean, that's part. I was talking to my friend right here about that. A lot of time we forget what is being a professional. I mean, the whole concept, and it's just not play the game or play at the highest level is making impact in your community, making impact in other kids' life, and every time that I have the opportunity to spend time with kids, I will do it because, like I say, I don't know when is the day that I'm gonna impact somebody's life, and that's part of being professional. So I take that concept and the whole thing and just try to give something back to the community because they are, especially here, this is my second year here, and the fans here are crazy and really nice to us. They come and support every night, so I just try to give something back to the community.
What's the culture like down at the clubhouse? We've talked to many people involved in the organization. They all had really, really amazing things to say about you guys and the culture that you guys are building inside, the camaraderie, the chemistry with the team. What's the culture like inside that clubhouse for you?
We have a great relationship in the clubhouse. We have a mix of veteran guys and young guys. And the veteran guys like me and other guys, we take the role of teach the young guys how to play the game the right way, how to be a professional, and like I say, it's just not just play baseball. You have to be professional in the field and off the field, you know. So just make sure that when they get the opportunity to play in the big league, they ready.
What is it like being one of the veterans in the clubhouse that everybody looks up to? You like you mentioned, you've been playing for a very long time. You won a Golden Glove in 2019 as a second baseman. Now you're here in Salt Lake, and everybody's looking to you for advice. A lot of young players on the team, or maybe even it's a kid out on the field. What's it like having that, I guess, respect that everybody has for you?
I mean, it feels good because I think that I earned the respect of especially the young guys in the clubhouse. And like I say, if it's not me and I can help somebody make their dream come true and make it to the big league, I'm going to just help that kid, you know. I know how important, especially I know how important it was for me to play in the big league. That's like my main goal when I was young, so I know how important is that. And I talk a lot with young guys. I talk a lot because, like I say, maybe one advice, that's what young guys need to make it to the big league and make that switch. So every time that I can help somebody and impact their life, either a baseball player or a fan, I will happy to do it.
When you're obviously in the AAA level, there's a lot of focus on development and getting guys ready for when that time and that opportunity comes to move up to the majors and have an opportunity to play in the majors. What are some of the qualities that you see in some of these younger players or some characteristics that you see, whether it's in their personality, whether it's in their game, whether it's in the way that they play? What's something that sticks out to you that you see that and you say, okay, this guy's ready. When that opportunity comes, this guy will take it, and he's ready to move on and take that chance?
Yeah, I think I always see everybody's play good, feel good when the game is going well for you. But when you're struggling, that's when you show like your real personality.
Yeah.
And the way they handle themselves when they kind of struggle at the play or defense. That I think that say a lot about like if he's ready or not to play in the big league, because in the big league you're gonna fail a lot, you know. But it's how you can get out of those bad moments and keep moving forward. And if you can do this, if you can do that here in the AAA, you're gonna be able to do in the big league. If you don't do it here, the big league is gonna be way, way harder. So
absolutely.
I think that if the guys can understand like this game is really, really hard, but you have the opportunity the next day to prove that you can make adjustment. I think that's a quality that every organization is looking there. Okay, he can make a adjustment the next day. So I think that the attitude it say a lot.
We mentioned the community involvement with the Salt Lake Bees, and honestly, being down here in Daybreak, this part of Utah, it feels like, family is such a big thing out here, and the team is really involved with that from kids of all ages, and you get to be involved with the kids club, the clinics, the play ball weekend. If you had to kind of sell that, if there's a kid listening right now or a parent listening right now, what would you say to them to get them to come out here to come to these clinics?
Okay, I will say this: if I had the opportunity, will come to come in and spend time with the kids. Just come here, it's you don't know, like we have a great team here. We play great players, great coaches, and I think one good advice can change your kid's life, and especially we have a great time here. We play ball, we sign autograph, we have fun with the kids. When I was young, I don't have the opportunity to come with a clinic like this with a professional baseball player. So I know I have a son that he loves baseball, and every time that he can spend time with a baseball player, he's really happy. So just come here. We're gonna have a great time, and gonna make sure that your kid go back home happy.
Yolmer Sánchez joining us here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Yolmer, thank you so much for taking some time to join us today, man, and jumping on the headset. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Yolmer. Good talking to you.
Absolutely. Again, Yolmer Sánchez, infielder for the Salt Lake Bees, joining us here at 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone on the Saturday show. We are live from the ballpark at America First Square. You're doing all the kids clinics, watching all these kids enjoy some time with the baseball, and having a good time, Christian. And it's always great catching up again with Doug Davis, manager for the Salt Lake Bees, who we talked to last segment. If you missed that, you can go back, you can podcast it, listen to it wherever you get your podcast. And then, of course, the phenomenal conversation we just had there with Yolmer Sánchez, who a lot of insight into what happens on that clubhouse, a lot of insight into just how important it is for the Salt Lake Bees and their community outreach.
Well, and you mentioned, his time in the league, right? He spent time with the White Sox a very long time. He won a Golden Glove, right? So he is a very accomplished player. He's been doing this for a long time. Like, he is a name in baseball, and you think of what an incredible opportunity it is to send your kid out here and spend time with these players and get to know these players and make these memories and have these experiences that they are going to cherish and remember forever.
Absolutely.
Like a kid that is playing baseball or playing t-ball, even at the lowest level, is going to come out here and remember forever that time they got to learn how to pitch or learn how to throw the baseball and hang out with Sanchez and get his autograph. Like, that's special, and that's not something that everybody does.
Yep.
So the fact that the Salt Lake Bees are doing it and getting this team involved with the community down here in Daybreak and, the Salt Lake area, take advantage of it. These clinics are free. And we were talking to a couple people earlier, Jenny and Karina. Like, these clinics are free, and they're great, man. I wish I could be a kid again and come out here. I've got a 3-month-old at home. I can't wait until he's probably a little too young to come to these clinics now, but I can't wait until he is that age where I can take him out here and do these things and
get him
have
involved.
Fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. We are anticipating one more guest to come on and jump on with us. It is Michelle Smith, the president of Miller Sports Entertainment, who, again, will jump in, talk about these youth clinics, and talk about the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day that's coming up on September 12th. Anticipating to have a conversation with her in just a moment. Christian, man, I was watching I got home last night and I was watching the Quarterback Show on Netflix. And as I was watching it, watching Cam Ward, watching Joe Flacco, watching all these quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield and Jaden Daniels, who are all part of the quarterback season this season. I'm fired up, man, for football, for NFL. I'm excited for the Rams to get back on the field, man.
Yeah,
we're almost there.
You think they're getting Aaron Donald?
Oh, I think so.
We should have put that in the rumor mill.
We should have.
Aaron Donald. Somebody said that they saw him, like, I don't know if it was a drone or something, but they claimed to have seen Aaron Donald. It's like Sasquatch, like Bigfoot.
I did see that video.
Claimed to have seen Aaron Donald working out at the Rams facility. So, yeah, man, Rams making a big swing for Myles Garrett. If they could bring literally the franchise GOAT out of retirement to come back for one more year, make one final push with Matt Stafford and Puka, the Rams are going to be very good.
Absolutely.
You would be excited.
Absolutely. NFL preseason upon us. It's almost here, as well as the college football season, man. We're so close to getting football started again. Again, we are live here at the ballpark at America First Square, taking in some of these kid clinics that are happening today. Still plenty of kids and families hanging out, having fun, going through some of the drills and learning the game of baseball. Super fun to be out here. We are anticipating a conversation with Michelle Smith, the president of Miller Sports and Entertainment. That should be coming up on the other side. When we return, it is the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome back into the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Napoles, Christian Esparza, live here at the ballpark at America First Square. Happy to welcome in our next guest here to wrap up the show, Jenny Teamsma, again joining us, the Director of Communications for Miller Sports and Entertainment. Jenny, again, just to kind of recap, give us a rundown of what the event here today is with as far as the clinics go and what we can look forward to as far as the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day goes.
Yeah, so today we had about 200 kids here at the ballpark enjoying a clinic on the field, getting to interact with our players and coaches, running the different drills on the field, and we just had a great time out here with everyone. We offer these clinics multiple times throughout the season. We have 2 left this year, one in August, one in September. You can find details on our website. It's free to sign up, and we just encourage any kids that would like to participate to come on out.
Free is always good.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, too, you think of Daybreak in this area of South Jordan, West Jordan, whatever, but you mentioned there are kids coming from as far as like Layton and Ogden. So nowhere is too far. If you want to get your kid involved and have them come out here and have a fun day with the Salt Lake Bees, an MILB team, this is something that they're going to remember for a long time. So find those dates. And you mentioned the one in September, that's with a different team other than Salt Lake Bees.
Yeah, so we are hosting our 3rd baseball in Salt Lake event, which is where we have 2 teams from the Mexican Pacific League here at our ballpark, and we host some exhibition games, and it's a fun weekend. It's during Hispanic Heritage Month and celebrating Hispanic culture and baseball in our state, and we have a mariachi band, we have some lowrider shows, we have
sweet.
A kids clinic, and then we have 2 days of games. And it's a lot of fun. So you can find out more at baseballinsaltlake.com.
Why was the Utah Youth Sports Day created? That's coming up. That's a campaign you guys are launching on September 12th. Why was it created, and what's that initiative all about?
Yeah, so we have a partner called the Daniels Fund, and they've actually done this initiative in Colorado. And they've seen a lot of success and have raised millions of dollars for youth sports nonprofits in Colorado. And they actually approached us and said, hey, we want to make this happen in Utah. And we immediately said yes. There's such a need to decrease that barrier of entry into sport and to allow all kids to have access to different types of sports. What's really cool about this campaign is it's not just football, basketball, baseball, soccer. It's also skateboarding or running or any type of sport can participate in this initiative. So September 12th is the Giving Day when that launches, and youth sports nonprofits can fundraise, and we will match up to $150,000 for each nonprofit. So nonprofits have the chance to double their money, which is really cool. And we have a lot of institutional donors here in this great state that have jointly made a match pool of $1.5 million. So the goal is $3 million for youth sports nonprofits.
That's awesome. Jenny, thank you so much for having us out here today. We really appreciate the opportunity to come out here, see the ballpark, and get people involved. Try to get people involved in this in the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day, as well as get involved in the kids club and the clinics. Where do people need to go to get more involved? Whether that's the clinics, whether that is with the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day, where can people go to find more information?
Yeah, so go to slbs.com for the kids clinic and kids club, and UtahYouthSportsGivingDay.com to sign up to participate as a nonprofit or to donate to the different nonprofits.
That's so cool. Shout out to the Salt Lake Bees for hosting us today. Shout out to the Miller Sports and Entertainment Group for, backing all of this and being the architectures of all this. This is so great for the community, and I love that sports is such an important part of, honestly, Utah's culture, and the fact that they are leaning into that and helping grow that is so cool.
Yeah, thank you so much. You couldn't have said it better. It's a key pillar of our organization, and we want to see more kids involved and just better the community.
Awesome.
The Salt Lake Bees are in action tonight as they take on the Reno Aces. 6:20 pregame, 6:35 first pitch. Come out of the ballpark, taking some Salt Lake Bees action tonight when they take on the Reno Aces following a win last night. Or you can catch all the action here on the KSL Sports Zone. Again, Jenny, we cannot thank you enough for taking the time to join us and for sharing all this amazing information. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, and go Bees.
Go Bees.
There you go.
Thanks, Jenny.
From Brant here, keeping us on air and making all the magic happen down here at the ballpark. For Sean Croshaw back in the studio, pushing the buttons, making the magic happen. I'm Alex Napoles. That's Christian Esparza. And this has been another edition of the Saturday Show. It is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.